Hello everyone, my name is Intan Meisharo.
And my name is Nevika Rizaria Mubaligo.
We are so excited to share with you an important topic that connects language and everyday life, how language impacts culture.
Yes, language is not just a tool for communication, it's deeply to how people think, act, and relate to one another. Without language, culture would not be able to survive or grow.
In this video, we will talk about how language shapes culture in terms of social structure, tradition, track patterns, and identity.
Let's dive into it. Let's start with the way language reflects social norms and relationships. In many cultures, the way we speak changes depending on who we are talking to.
The tribe take the Japanese language, for example, it has different speech level, ngoko for informal speech, madhya for semi-formal, and kromo for polite of formal situation.
You will not use ngoko when talking to your teacher or an elder. That would be seen as disrespectful. So, the language itself teaches us about hierarchy and politics.
Is fascinating how speakers have to be aware of social status and relationship before choosing the right words. Language here is a mirror of cultural values.
And this is not just in Japanese. Korean, Japanese, and Thai also have speech level that reflects age, status, and familiarity. Culture shapes how language is used, and in return, language refers to cultural values.
Language also plays a big role in preserving tradition. Through language, stories, rituals, and beliefs are passed down from generation or generation.
Oral traditions are especially important in many indigenous cultures. For example, in some Papuan and Dayak communities, elders pass on wisdom through storytelling, poetry, and song.
These aren't just entertaining stories. They teach values, explain natural phenomena, and even contain practical knowledge about farming, hunting, or medicine.
And even these stories only exist in the native language. If that language disappears, so does the unique knowledge and worldview of the culture.
That's why effort to document and revitalize local language are crucial, not just for language preservation, but for the survival of cultural heritage.
Now let's move to how language influence how we think. Have you heard of the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis?
Yes, it's the idea that the structure of a language affects its speaker, worldview, or cognition. Basically, the way we speak can influence how we see and understand the world.
One example is how some languages like Inuit or Sami have many different words for snow. Why? Because snow is an important part of their environment.
Meanwhile, in some tropical culture, there might be no specific word for snow at all. This know how language reflects what is important to the daily life of a culture.
Another famous example is how some Aboriginal Australian language don't use words like left or right. Instead, they use cardinal directions like north, south, east, and west.
As a result, speakers of those languages develop an exceptional sense of orientation. Language shaped why the literacy speech are around them.
Amazing, right? It proves that language does not just describe reality, it helps create the way we interpret it.
Language is also a symbol of identity. When we speak our mother tongue, we feel connected to our family, community, and cultural roots.
That's why many people feel emotional when they hear traditional songs or proverbs in their native language. It reminds them of home, childhood, and their heritage.
On the other hand, when a language disappears, people can lose part of their cultural identity. Language loss often happens in communities that are pressured to speak only the national or dominant language.
For example, many regional languages in Indonesia, like Bali, Sunda, or Bugis, are slowly declining because younger generations prefer to speak Indonesian or English.
That's not necessarily bad, but it becomes a problem if the native language is completely forgotten. It means fewer people can access their traditional stories, beliefs, or rituals.
Thankfully, some schools and local governments are now promoting regional language education. That's great way to keep cultural identity alive.
One more thing, language and culture are not static. They change over time as society changes. So does the language.
Yes, new technology, social trends, and global influence bring the new words and expressions. For example, many young people now mix English with Bahasa Indonesia when chatting online.
This phenomenon is called code switching, and it shows how culture adapts to modern realities. Language is flexible and it evolves with our needs.
So, even though some may say that old traditions are being lost, we can also see this as a way that culture stays alive by expressing itself in new forms of language.
In conclusion, we have seen that language and culture are deeply connected. Language reflects social structure, preserves tradition, shapes thought, and expresses identity.
Every language holds a unique worldview. When we lose a language, we lose more than just words. We lose wisdom, values, and ways of saying the word.
That's why we should support multilingualism and the preservation of local and indigenous language.
By respecting and protecting language, we are also protecting human diversity and cultural richness.
Thank you so much for watching, guys.
We hope this video has helped you understand the powerful connection between language and culture. See you guys. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.